Hello everyone and welcome to this FVGP testing here for Season 6. I'm your host, Gosmungus, or Vinci Rosequist, and for the next half an hour and change, we will be seeing cars going round on track. I do apologise for the two cars who don't have a name in the lobby for some reason. If I knew why that was happening, I would fix it, but I don't, so I can't. No co-commentator for today, but that should change for the 6-round season taking place over the next few months. Thank you, Unku. So it is Apex in the Red Bull, currently in 11th, and Unku in the Ferrari, currently in 10th. For the half-an-hour practice session, it will mostly be the sights and sounds of Barcelona, Catalonia, but sprinkled in throughout the session, there may be interviews with some of the drivers as they are out on track, if I can convince them to join me. And there will possibly be and hopefully, during parts of this, I'll run through the drivers, teams, and all of that jazz as it's a new season, some new names, and some old names as well. As we are on board with Joseph Hales in the Williams. Oh, there's already been a crash. That's not gone well. There's already someone on Inters as well. Brilliant. What? Oh, that's unlucky there from the Alfa Romeo. Just lost it, exiting turn 4, I believe. Yeah, not much you can do there. That's just something that happens, unfortunately. But that does end testing quite early for Jack East in the Alfa Romeo. But as I was saying, as we were on board with Joseph Hales for that small section, think it's best to go through the drivers and teams competing this season for the FVGP Season 6 title. So, as Apex jumps to second, this feels odd, just talking to myself. Anyway, so we have Joseph and Leslie in the Williams car. If I remember correctly, the Williams is relatively successful in the wider FVC. I have nothing to back that up, but I think it's true. As you can see, I'm very well prepared. Yep, I was right, as we see Joseph absolutely demolish turns 1 and 2. Williams, a former championship winner with Bayliss in Season 4, the last season in Formula 1 cars for FVGP. Previously the now rebranded FVC2. With them up, with Williams also winning the Team's Championship that season. So Joseph and Leslie have a lot on their shoulders to recreate that, but they're two very competent drivers. If they can hear me, they'd probably be blushing. And yeah, the Williams team got a lot to show for themselves in the past. Will these two be able to continue it? Alfa Romeo, on the other hand, not really much in terms of history within FVGP, and clearly already slightly unlucky, as Jack East was our first casualty here in this preseason testing, but him and Eldorado, one of the, dare I say, legends of FVC, hoping to create that history for Alfa Romeo. Obviously a very well-known mark in the world of cars, but Formula One success has eluded them since the 1950s in the heyday with Fangio. Will these two be able to make their own history in FVGP? McLaren are, a bit like Alfa Romeo, have little history in FVGP, but both of their drivers certainly have history in FVC, with reigning FVGP Formula One champion Bayliss, obviously not here today, with the reserve driver of Champsco taking his spot in the car. But obviously those two, obviously the championship winner previously, and this time round hoping to reclaim his crown as F1 champion within FVGP, as we see his teammate Bonajordi peel into the pits here. Obviously McLaren haven't won a Constructors' Championship in FVGP, but Van Amersfoort in the debut Formula 2 season did, and this orange team will be hoping to go the same way as the Dutch F2. Red Bull are controversial in the world of Formula One, and one of their drivers could also certainly be described as controversial here this season. Feel like I have struck the mark there, but well, they probably aren't listening. Apex, one of the admins of this league, well, of main FVC, with this being more of a spin-off, as he runs slightly off track there. He is joined by Amber in the second Red Bull, hoping to bring success to the team from Milton Keynes in what in real life is the dominant car. Will these two make a similar authoritative claim? Although there is no one from the team from Kannapolis, North Carolina here today, Haas were the first winners of the FVC2, as it was back then, FVGP Constructors' Championship, with Aerobic Muffin and Satellite taking the seats at the American team. It's been a few years now since that first season and that first win, as we see a great drift from Apex through that corner. I believe it's turn 7, possibly turn 8, I could be wrong. But those two, obviously unavailable today for testing, but those two Haas drivers are going to be wanting to bring success back to North Carolina. This season, as Apex goes fastest, cutting me off as I put my teeth in, right as I was starting to speak. This will be the sister team to Red Bull. This will be AlphaTauri's final season under that name within FVC, with Alfie and Curly here. Well, Curly not here, with the reserve of Vetlamp taking his spot as Red Bulls go 1-2 currently in this this extended testing session, with just 15 minutes to go in the session. Just logging laps is everyone, as is often the case. So it'll be the final season for AlphaTauri in the FVC, unless I'm wrong, at which point I will probably be corrected. Hopefully Alfie and Curly, or Vetlamp even, will bring glory to Faenza before the big rebrand.
Expect teams to be at the top of their game this weekend.
There may be another season for AlphaTauri.
Oh, mate, give me a second.
It's been a tough start to the 2024 Formula 1 season for the French marquee Alpine, but they are former Constructors champions in FVC2, taking the title back in Season 2. Joining the French team for this season is Ace King. No, it's not. Ace King is the reserve. It's Quast and Chungus joining the French team for this season. Obviously both unavailable today, but they're both going to be hoping that the woes in real life do not translate to the video. Ferrari are historic, both in Formula 1 and in the FVC, with Unku leaving the commentary box this season to take part in the races for the former drivers' champions, as I accidentally click on a different bit of the document. Unku will be joined in the car by Alexei, another stalwart of FVC, hoping to bring a driver's title, possibly a constructor's title, back to Marin. Mercedes were part of a spectacular early part and late part indeed to the 2010s, but have struggled so far in the 2020s. That's not something that can be said in the FVC though, with D7, one of their current drivers, taking the first FVC2 championship all the way back in 2022. While they didn't win the Constructors' Championship that season, that will be a place for them to gain in this Season 6, with that champion from the first season, D7, being joined by Jay Broughton, another stalwart of FVC, and realistically one of a few drivers on this grid to always be in with a chance of the title. Look out for these two when it gets to the pointy end of the season. And last, but absolutely not least, we go to the legends of Aston Martin. Often the home of the FVC admins of Pixels and SAS. They've been talking a big game about this being the season where they break through, and Aston Martin haven't had much success so far in FVC, but this could always be the season where their tides change.
Since 1913, although officially the first F1GP was held here in 1951, it's been a staple of the calendar almost every year. Catalonia, 1991. Since when he was here in Catalonia, Max Verstappen was very close. He's earned himself a number of During the 2022 season, the newly crowned world champion Max Verstappen won the Spanish GP and subsequently broke Lewis Hamilton's 5-year winning streak. Pastor Maldonado.
So with under 10 minutes to go in this practice session. Who was that in the background? Joseph Hale's going for a bit of an adventure there. Taking the 1994 circuit, I believe. 1995, sorry. The last time they used that section of track, if I remember correctly. A mainstay on Forza. I believe that section of track was used in a FVC Forza race at some point. So yeah, as we're saying, with under 10 minutes to go in this practice session before the qualifying and race for this testing session, we are looking to get some drivers in to have a chat with me, with 8.5 minutes to go.
I am still here if you need me.
I don't know if you're being broadcast.
I am. I can hear myself.
Oh, cool. Unky's my producer. That's why they're here. Producer, would you mind dragging Leslie in?
Hello.
Hello, Leslie. This is Gods Among Us up in the commentary booth. Can I get a copy?
Hello, Coffee. How are you doing?
I've wanted to do that for so long. Well, obviously, your pre-season testing ended a little bit early, so
Yeah, shame that. I hit the bump coming into pit entry while doing a high-speed practice because I wanted to check what I could do in pit instead of taking it safe, and I just hit the bump. Had a tiny bit of understeer and just grazed the wall, but that was enough to take off my tire.
yeah, not
And
something
sadly enough,
that's
that ended.
difficult.
Yeah. However, I will say that the running we did have, I mean, it still put me P8 on a hard tire with a pretty fresh track because I was the first one out there and that was my second push lap. So I would say that Williams is looking pretty decent.
So you mentioned it yourself there. You were able to get a pretty decent lap on those hards early in the session. How's the car feeling for you, mate?
It's pretty good. I set it up a little bit. I mean, I set it up so that I lose a little bit of time in corners, probably compared to some of the higher downforce runners. But I am normally in past FVGP seasons, which is one so far. I have been pretty defensive, as in I can defend very well. Attacking is something that I still need to work on. So my plan for this Grand Prix is just to put it somewhere decent in quali and then just see if I can attack, and if not, have the straight line speed to defend.
Yeah, I remember you being very irritating to overtake in the Formula 2 cars. So, what are your plans for the season, mate? It's a 6-round season, if I remember correctly. What are your plans? What are you aiming for?
Well, so obviously this is my first time in a Formula 1 car in FVGP, and as much as I would say I'm fighting for championships, I've so far been pretty midfield. I got some good results, but as my teammate spins.
Yeah, on the broadcast as well.
I did get some good results, but I would say that I'm mostly going to support my teammate who has a genuine shot at becoming champion, and will try to get Williams to the top of the constructors as well. So I will be running second driver, and I have made my peace with that. I'm just no match for an esports driver, which Joseph is obviously an esports driver for TTL, I'm pretty sure.
It's something like that. But as it stands, you are quicker than him in this practice session.
Yeah, yeah, I noticed. Now that Kenny, now I do know our strat, and I do know what fuel levels he's running. So I'm not saying anything.
Of course,
but
that is one of the issues with testing. You don't know what everyone else is doing half the time.
Yeah, exactly. So this is as he also decides to retire.
Yep, that's not gone well. That's not gone well for Williams.
No, that almost looked intentional, but I'm sure it isn't. No, that's
we'll
that's
say
both
nothing.
of us out.
We'll say nothing.
No, we'll say nothing. That's it's
Smile and wave, boys.
5 minutes remaining. Exactly. No,
yeah.
I'm excited to see what we can do. We're setting up pretty heavy for we think we will get some good results on the slightly lower downforce tracks. Because obviously the Williams is a little bit better suited to those types of tracks. So we're looking to score big there. And yeah, there are a lot of new faces. And obviously this is my second season, not a rookie anymore. So I'm aiming to, to be the best version of myself and to try and get as many points as possible. And I think that with this teammate pairing, we should definitely be fighting for championships. Me and Curly got P3 and the constructors last season in F2.
Yep.
and I see a P1 as a definite possibility.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for your time, mate. I'll let you get back to. Well, you're not really doing much, but
I mean, it's 3
Still got
minutes.
a
I gotta get
yeah.
strapped in.
Gotta get ready for qualifying, mate.
Exactly. Little shout out to my helmet though. I'm running a special design for preseason, and I just want to say that it looks absolutely sick, and I'm just putting it out there.
Brilliant. Well,
I
we'll see you on
fucking
track
hate
for.
this game.
We'll see you on track for qualifying, mate. As Onku crashes. What happened there, mate?
No comment.
No comment. Brilliant.
I'll get back to my pit box. Thank you for having
Tires
me.
not working for me. Rear end is just not sticking, and tires were going. This setup is not it.
Well, at least you can change it for qualifying. You're not under park firmer yet. Oh, as we see Sass hop and start lawn mowing. Amazing. Well, thank you both for your time. What is going on?
Driver to win at his home country's track while driving with Renault in his second championship-winning year. He would go on to win it again in Spain in 2013 while driving for Ferrari.
There's been a catastrophe. There's been a catastrophe in the pit lane. Sass crashes out. I think Broughton also took some damage there. Amazing.
Half the race with only fifth gear. The Benetton B194 There's been many victories since when he was here. Very first Grand Prix in 2016. As a result,
So as the clocks wind down, don't go anywhere because we do have qualifying and a race for you this evening. Yeah, just stay exactly where you are because even though there's under a minute and a half left in this practice session, the action will continue. Well, as we wait for the end of this session, as everyone starts peeling into the pits and ending their running, remember that there is an app for Formula Velocity for you to vote for Driver of the Day in the main races and look at the stats. It's available on every app store as the checkered flag flies. And the code is on screen and in the Discord server for FVGP. Ad read. That was broadcast, bugger. So, practice is over here for pre-season testing at Barcelona. Broughton brings home the fastest time so far, but it's just testing, and these times could mean nothing come both the race and the first round of this season. Well, it's qualifying time here in Barcelona, and that's... It's worrying to see that it's Q1, but that's probably just how it is. I've not had spectator lobby on this game in quite a while. 16 cars here. 15 cars here. That's comedic timing.
Keep an eye out for action unfolding in turn 1. This is the primary overtaking spot of Catalonia, as it's a heavy
As we see the second Red Bull of Apex head out on the track, along with, I can't quite see who that is. It's the Williams of Joseph Hale. No, it's not. It's Williams of Leslie. I can read. So we'll go on board with the Dutchman. I believe. I could be wrong. So obviously no points on offer today, but that doesn't mean that the drivers won't be fighting tooth and nail for everything they can get. For bragging rights, for form. Thank you for confirming that that's not how it works, Unku. Yeah. This game is just well made and definitely not broken. Well then. There's some interesting things going on here so far in this qualifying session, with Joseph Hales ending up disqualified, so looks like he wants to challenge, starting at the back, with Amber also retiring early. A little bit of adventurous line there from Leslie. Through that middle sector and a bit more, but I completely lost my train of thought there. Yes, FVGP is regular track limits, which does allow a bit more creative freedom, as we see Apex go past us with a 1 minute 12.282 on the soft tyres, which reminds me I should probably put the tyre on. With Leslie going second fastest. Apex really putting something down there. Got with D7 going even faster to an 11.783. Times are already tumbling from practice, which is what you expect. Lower fuel, fresher tyres, and a third thing that I can't think of. Does seem to be a little bit of a traffic jam for D7. Not sure if he is on a second lap or not. As Jack East also does it. And Borna Jordi jumps up to 7th fastest so far. Alfie is on the hard tyres for his qualifying lap. Looks like he just wants to get some wear in them so they heat up quicker in the Grand Prix. But obviously not good grip for the qualifying session, at least not initially. But we could probably expect him to be on some soft tyres later on, as the clock winds down. A purple sector 1, allegedly, but we know that this game does like to lie when it comes with that. So I would be shocked if it was a proper purple lap. Try saying that 3 times fast. As we see the AlphaTauri climb up the hill and through into the fast right-hander. Very treacherous corner here, no matter what type of car it is, because One wrong move and you are looping it. With another purple sector for the AlphaTauri. I'm really not sure this is legit, but we'll go with it for now. Going through the modified section of track as we went back from the chicane to the fast sweeping corner. Of course, Barcelona soon to be replaced on the Formula 1 calendar as Alfie goes third with a 12.863, not too far off the pole position time, and considering that is on two-step harder tyres, that's quite impressive there for the AlphaTauri. Oh. Nice reset to track there. Nice reset to track there, Sass. Good job. Good death. So we go on board with the second of the two Alpines. They're both not quite line asunder, but they are close to each other. Not close enough to get DRS, well, not DRS, to get slipstream from the other. As I say that, the Alfa Romeo dies, then crashes into the wall as we see Chungus enter the pit lane with Ace King carrying on to finish his lap to set a 1:13.133, so close to it being repeating. But a good lap there from the Alpine driver. On board with Broughton finishing up his lap here in the Mercedes, coming through the final corner now. According to the game, he's on the pit limiter. I somehow don't think that's true as he comes across the line to set a 1:11.645, going provisional pole with 11 minutes to go in this session. Very good lap there from Broughton.
Here and say that the game is definitely not giving you correct displays for purple sectors, because it told me in my lap that I had a purple middle sector,
right,
and I've only went 7th. So
that happens a lot. This has been a glitch in the game for about 4 games. It's good to have it confirmed.
Yeah, that's all I'm jumping in to say again. It's just to everybody watching, it is a little bit broken. So the only time you can really trust is the ones you see on the tower on the left of your screen.
Yep, exactly that. Thank you, in-race reporter. Going through the final corners now. No, he's not. He's coming in the pits. Broughton following Unku. Broughton being the one I was referring to. Trying to see who's on a lap. I don't think there actually currently is anyone on a lap as we go on board with Vetlamp in the AlphaTauri. I'm not reading that out loud. I'm not reading that out loud either. So, Vetlamp, what just happened? Who just jumped? I couldn't tell. So we go on board with Vetlamp and we will watch his entire lap in the AlphaTauri. Flying down the start-finish straight now. DRS open. Heavy braking into turn 1. Just slight flick of the steering wheel. I'm not Martin Brundle, I'm not gonna kid myself. Gonna be a little bit of traffic for Vetlamp as D7 goes fastest by 007, but he's not in an Aston Martin. They're currently languishing in 10th and 11th. So far are the Aston Martins. Big snap from the AlphaTauri there. Unfortunate for Vetlamp, going to lose him a little bit of time. But it doesn't seem to have deterred the driver of the number 3, allegedly. I'm going to stick with that. Another little twitch in the AlphaTauri as he comes through the final corner now to finish his first lap of the session. Under 8 minutes to go, and he goes fastest. 1:11.512, and you can't exactly say it was a clean lap, so there's more time to gain there for the AlphaTauri. And that should worry the field. Because this track is definitely getting quicker. So was going rallying there. Luckily he was off the track. In his Aston Martin. Going to be a little bit of breathing space now here with just over 7 minutes to go. It's a little bit too early to do final runs, but too late to do middle runs, so sort of in no man's land. So we'll leave you with the sights and sounds of the Circuit Barcelona Catalunya.
On this circuit way back in 1996, the first Model Schumacher race for Ferrari. He finished the race in third, but went on to win 5 World Championships.
As the clock winds down, we see a slight mistake from Jack East, exiting the final corner. Unable to improve on his lap time so far, but with those medium tyres, they're only going to get better. So we're going to go on board with the second AlphaTauri, who was on a lap. Well, on a lap. We saw the timing board go from outlap to nothing as we see him go through the final sector now. Through the few fast corners as the Red Bull gets out the way quite smartly. Can't see who it was, but we see the AlphaTauri going through the final corner, improving by a second to 11.835. But with pole set currently by his teammate being another 3/10 up the road, there's still time in this track to gain. It's going to be who is able to find it. Time is ticking here in Catalonia, just 4 minutes to go in the session. And the track is going to get a lot busier from now as we see the other, on the minimap, we see the other McLaren of Borna heading out onto the track to start his outlap. So we see his teammate coming through the final corners now to start his flying lap with just over 3.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. think it's safe to assume that the track will be getting busier in the next minute or so, because the lap times are quick around here, but you're still going to want enough time to have a do-over in case you invalidate or just mess anything up in general. There is a bit of a gap between 5th and 6th so far of just over a second. There is a big space to fill between that front 5 and the rest of the field. So we see Champsco coming through the final corner now. It's a yellow flag entering T3, sorry. Champsco crossed the line. He improved, I believe, but not by much. That's going to be him done as D7 jumps to pole. 1:11.507. Another small gap between him and second. Seems like D7's got this Mercedes down to a T, but there are many of his competitors behind him, all chomping at the bit to leapfrog him in the order. Just under 2 minutes to go now in qualifying, as we are on board with the second McLaren of Borna-Jordi. A little bit of traffic ahead of him, an Alfa Romeo and an Alfa Tauri. Hopefully they'll get out of the way relatively quickly. Looks like they have. Yep, they've been very good there. Through the final corner now, Borna-Jordi. Crossed the line. It's not going to be an improvement for the other McLaren. I think this is... No, it's Leslie coming across the line with, I think, Vetlamp behind him. Yep, so Vetlamp's going to be getting a good amount of slipstream. Into the pits comes D7. He's done in this qualifying session. He's going to have to hope that his 1:11.507 has solidified pole for him. A lot of drivers on their out laps just coming through now. It's going to be Leslie the first to finish their hot lap. As we see one of the Red Bulls, the only Red Bull out on track currently, as the other one did retire in the pit lane, of course. We see the Red Bull going slowly through the final sector to try and keep his ERS up and good. Hopefully the Alfa Romeo will get out the way there for Leslie. Seems like it has, which is good. Leslie, of course, we spoke to at the end of the practice session. He seems quite comfortable in this Williams. Knows its strengths. Hopefully he'll be able to get it a little bit further up the grid. So we see these on the minimap, the second Aston Martin go off track. But through the final corner now, the Aston Martin doesn't matter for Leslie. Through the final corner, going to be across the line to set a 1:12.771. That puts him in the gap. Checkered flag is out. Vetlamp just got across the line in time. I think he did 2 out laps. To be careful. Coming across the line now, Jack East. He's gone off track. He's not improved. Chungus up to 4th with a 1:11.666. That's cursed. Next up, it's going to be Apex to cross the line. Oh, he runs slightly off track. That's not going to be good. Is he going to have the grip through the faster corners? Flying through the final corner now. That was a lag spike. Holy moly. Apex, cross the line. Doesn't improve. Alfie, next. Through the final corner. Doesn't improve. Next up, it's going to be Broughton. Into the pits. Then Unku, they're going to cross the line. Not going to improve by the looks of things. Now Borna-Jordi, are they going to improve? Slightly, but not their position. Now Vetlamp, through the final corner. Doesn't improve. Leslie enters the pits. I think this is Ace King. Invalidated. Pixels is off. Pixels and Sass are doing donuts. Fair enough. And that is going to bring an end to qualifying. With E7 on pole, Vetlamp lining up on the front row with Broughton and Chungus making up that second row. Alfie closely followed behind with Apex in 6th. Leslie impressing to get up to 7th place ahead of the 2 McLarens in 8th and 9th, as we see Sass just tagged the wall there. Wonderful. At the end of their donut show. The second Alpine of Ace King will line up in 10th with Unku in 11th. Pixels and Sass follow in 12th and 13th. With Back East in 14th, Amber in 15th, and Joseph Hales lining up at the back of the grid in P16. It's formation lap time here for pre-season testing. Well, the pre-season testing Grand Prix here in Spain. All the cars seem to have got offline pretty decently. Going to hope for little contact here on this formation lap, because that will send you to the grid and put your tyres firmly in the fridge to mean you have shocking traction. It's going to be a case of keeping an eye out on this race start as we see who has the speed going down into turn 1, because of course D7 is not going to have any slipstream on the way down to T1, so he's likely to be one of the slower cars heading into the braking zone. Will we see an overtake early on in this race? Will it become more of a strategy game, or will... That's the wrong thing to change. Or will there be more to this race after the first corner? Tyre strategy for this race is mixed, with a fair few tyres, yeah, well done, fair few cars going for hard tyres to start this Grand Prix. That was close between the Mercedes and the AlphaTauri, as Apex misses his grid slot. As you can see, several tyre strategy is very mixed up for the start of this race, with most of the field on softs, but nowhere near a majority of cars. It's going to be interesting to see which strategy prevails. The grid is lining up. More cars, more drivers getting disqualified for missing their pit box. Luckily, that doesn't affect them too much. Five red lights. Green flag in the air in Spain. I love it when the camera angle changes. What is this? We run down to turn 1. Everyone seems to have got off the line cleanly. What was that camera angle? Seems to have been good launch for Vetlamp. He gets the lead. It's going to be the run down into turn 4. One car off. It's one of the McLarens. It's Geordie on the softs. That's not going to have gone well. He's dropped to the rear, but it seems like everyone else has made it through so far. I forgot to turn off the formation lap thingy. Oh well. It was a good start for Hales and Amber, both up. Not into the points. Oh! I think there's a crash, yep. It was Alfie and I think Sass, but I could be wrong. Lot of cars just sort of everywhere. Big dive from Sass there on Unku, but just can't get it stuck into the gravel, actually. Thank you for showing the strategies game. Hales all the way up, already up to 8th. Amber already up to 7th. What a start for those two so far in this Grand Prix. The timing board has gone manic, but they were side by side for the lead briefly. D7 not able to get the launch. What has happened to the timing? This game is brilliant. This is why you need a co-com. Side by side in the further back. Leslie and Apex. There's racing happening everywhere. Well, as you'd expect, to be honest. Broughton and Chungus fighting. I apologise. Oh, round goes Chungus, hard in the wall. He's lucky to have his tyres, but that's going to be a virtual safety car. As he retires on track, the VSC will let everyone breathe slightly. Oh, 5-second penalty for Ace King. Think he got into Champsco while they were slowing down. And breathe. Hopefully, during this VSC, the leaderboard will work. But you never know knowing this game. It's Vetlamp who leads from the two Mercedes of D7 and Broughton. Leslie in fourth with Apex rounding out the top 5. Into the pits goes Unku. Think they got some damage on that first lap. Everyone seems to be speeding up, so I think the VSC might be ending soon, but I'm not too sure. Oh, was there contact between the Mercedes? Oh, drive-through penalty for Ace King for speeding under VSC. He just went for it a little bit too early. It looks like there wasn't contact between the Mercedes, but it was very close. Hales racing Amber side by side. Amber with the inside. Oh, a little bit of contact there. You don't want to go 2x2 through here. Hales sweeps around the outside. I think Amber backed off slightly. But that's going really well so far for the Williams. More racing further back as Pixels gets past Ace King. That's going to be good for the confidence of the Aston Martin driver. As further back we see Geordie get past Jack East. Meanwhile, up at the front, we're getting the Indy 500 Snake. DRS has been enabled. Broughton looking to the outside of his teammate. He slices back through. Oh! Safety car. What happened there? What happened there? Where did Leslie crash? Oh, that's an odd place to crash. If I knew what I was doing, there would be a replay. But the safety car is out. And that's going to be really helpful for those who pitted. Oh, really unfortunate for Leslie. His controller died. That's really unfortunate for Leslie. Looks like he just lost control and his controller went pop. This is good for the drivers who have pitted. Those being Jack East, Unku and Alfie. Jack East does have a drive-through for speeding under the VSC, I believe. Possibly a jump start, but I think it came when the VSC was out. So that's going to be a penalty for speeding. And Ace King, 5-second penalty for making contact with someone under the VSC when the VSC came out. Well, we get to breathe once again as we see a lot of drivers pitting. Oh, the Mercedes have double stacked. The Mercedes have double stacked. With Apex staying out on the hards. Oh, that's really unfortunate for the Mercedes drivers. Especially D7. That overtake into turn 1. Well, on the start-finish straight was really important for Broughton. Now knowing that the safety car came out. Has shaken everything up. What is happening here? Looks like Champsco was slightly caught off by the safety car and Apex being a little bit slow, as they kind of have to be. Has shaken up the field a little bit. I think those on the hard tyres will be able to make it to the end, unless they haven't pitted. as we wait for SAS and behind to catch up to the safety car. I believe they should be given the opportunity to go full speed now, but I could be wrong. Looking at it, they are. Shouldn't take long for them to catch up. It's a good stroke of luck for SAS, as they were one of the ones to pit under the safety car just slightly before it happened. I believe it was the second lap round that it happened. As the field has caught up now, well, all but Ace King, who served his 5-second penalty by the looks of things, which I didn't think you could do on the safety car, but I've been wrong before and I'll be wrong again. It does seem like the safety car will be in the next lap or so. It's going to be Apex leading, which isn't something all too unfamiliar for the Red Bull driver. He does seem to be wanting the safety car to go a little bit quicker as he drives up. Like, it looked like he was driving up alongside him, like alongside Bernd Mailander in the virtual safety car. Virtual Bernd Mailander in the virtual safety car, but not the virtual safety car. The virtual safety car. Yeah, everyone is in this snake now. So I think it's going to be safety car in this lap. I think the lights have just gone off. No, they haven't. It's very easy to see. Yep, there's race control. Safety car in this lap. It's going to be Apex to control the field. I've also realised that I didn't set up the graphic for the interviews, but oh well. Those will be ready for the first race. We're about to go green again in Barcelona. It's up to Apex where he goes. Looks like he's launched a good jump for the Red Bull driver. It's going to all be happening behind him. So we're on board with the Red Bull. Is that 3 wide? 4 wide behind them! Amber to the inside! Contact! Amber saves it, but loses places! Amber went brave! And just looks like there wasn't enough room. There's a change for P2 as well. Vetlamp on the new hard tyres gets past Champsco. Oh, a little bit of contact. Broughton and Champsco. A little bit of a bump and run. As we see Jackie's just dropping down the field. Seems like it was a conscious decision. There's be a lot of battles. A lot of battles going on. Champsco dropping down another place. And another one. A big send from Joseph Hales. Pushes Champsco sliding out onto the marbles. Round goes the McLaren. It's a yellow flag to warn the drivers coming through, but that's not going to be good for the gambling McLaren who stayed out under that safety car. Safety car, not safety car, caution out again for Alfie spinning in the final corner and Jackie's pitting. Oh, are we seeing a send from Joseph down the inside of Vetlamp? Yes, we are. Joseph Hales from the back to third as it stands. Looks like Broughton getting right up to Apex gearbox. Big block from the Red Bull driver. Can Broughton hold it round the outside? He's trying. Joseph takes a look, doesn't go for it. Down the inside goes Broughton. Is he going to be clear? It looks like... Oh, not quite. He clears himself and gets the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix here. From Apex, with now side-by-side Joseph Hales. Battles everywhere you look, and there is a gap forming as well. And that's Joseph Hales up into second, holding it round the outside of Apex. That's twice now Apex has been done round the outside, or at least started the move, forcing the other driver around the outside. Broughton leads, Hale second, DRS enabled. Vetlamp trying to get into third, looking down the inside of the sister car. Through they go by the looks of things. What an amazing camera angle. Yep, Vetlamp through. It's now going to be D7 looking to get past the worn, hard-wearing Red Bull. It's not going to be long until Apex has been caught by his teammate. It's outstanding racing from the front pack. Little drift from Apex. Good save. Is D7 going to go for a look down the inside? He looks. I think there was a slight tap. And now D7 under attack from Amber. Holds off the other Red Bull. This is a great battle. DRS now for D7. Down the inside he goes. What a shocking camera angle. Pushes Apex wide. D7 goes through. A little bit more contact, lot more contact. Wow, wide goes D7. And Amber gets through on Apex. Apex looks like he's on an ice rink out here on those hard tyres. But you gotta say, D7's probably going to be feeling a bit aggrieved there. As Hales gets past Broughton. Everything's happening. As Ace King pits, I think, yes he does. Pixels past Unku. But not for long. Unku round the outside. Border Jordy gets past Pixels. And D7 gets round Amber. And Apex is back in fourth. What is going on? Border Jordy down the inside of Unku as well. Everything is happening. Oh, this is amazing. It's only lap 10. Points aren't on offer for another 13 laps. This is incredible. It's D7 now, trying to go around the outside of Amber. Amber on the preferred line. Oh, D7 gets it. No, it wasn't Amber. It was Apex he was getting around the outside of. Good move there from the McLaren, the Mercedes driver. I'll get it right eventually. But now it's this pack. Seems like Border Jordy has run away from Unku and the battling pack behind them. Pixels with the DRS going alongside, going past, flying in front of the Ferrari. Looked like the Ferrari was stationary. That move was so quick. It's now going to be up to Pixels to try and catch up to the McLaren for P7. Of course, as it stands, Pixels in the net P7 already, with Apex needing to pit in the later laps. Apex and Champsco are probably going to be pitting soon on the alternate strategy. They're going to hope for a safety car to try and get themselves on the better tyres for the ending part of this race. Pixels does touch the grass slightly. That's not going to help him through the corner. Is Unku going to be able to get past? Not on this straight, but Unku breaks a lot later, and that lets through Alfie. That's not going to have been planned. On board with the Ferrari driver now. Taking a little bit too much curb and bouncing slightly. Bet they're loving hearing this in the rear. As we now see D7 trying to go around the outside of Amber. D7, is he going to get through? He's trying. Is the other Red Bull going to try and sneak through as well? Late block from Amber. Forces D7 to the outside again. But the over and under. Through goes D7. Amber going for it the next corner. A little bit of contact. They're side by side. Deal side by side. More contact. They are not giving each other an inch. I think D7 has it for now, but Amber has DRS. Down the inside. Are they going to clear them? No, they're not. D7's still there. Do you see the other McLaren go round? The champs go. No safety cars this time round. Just a yellow flag. As D7 loses the position to Amber. But they're going to get DRS this time round. So it's not going to be a sure thing. Heading into turn 1. That's weaving. I'm sorry, that's weaving. That should not be allowed from Amber. But through goes D7. Back into 4th place. They've lost a mountain of time to their teammate. This is incredible racing from these three. I don't think I'd call it clean, but I'd call it incredible. I think D7's got just enough of a gap to be able to try and breathe. Oh, this is just pre-season testing. Imagine what the racing for actual points is going to be like. Oh my word, and breathe. Even if it's just for a moment. The main battle on track now is between Alfie and Borna Geordie. Just doesn't seem like Alfie can get through, although Amber is catching back up. 2D7 moves to the inside. The Red Bull driver goes straight back through. These two don't know when to stop. They're losing time hand over fist to the podium, but they don't care. They want 4th place. D7 looking, doesn't go for it, slots in behind the Red Bull. Is he going to look to the inside? No, he goes to the outside. As the Red Bull washes out. Looks like there was a little bit of contact, but not enough to unsettle the Red Bull. It's going to be D7 this time round, though, to get the DRS. On board with the Mercedes. Through the right-hand flick, little snap. Saves it, but he's going to lose a ton of time to Amber in the Red Bull. It's going to be down into turn 1 now for the Mercedes. But now, the Alpha Tauri. Oh, was there contact with the McLaren? I think there might have been. But who knows? There's too many battles going on at once. D7 in the slipstream, in the DRS, down the inside. It happens again, and Alfie gets past Border Geordie as well. Amber and D7 are gaining on Apex in these, well, yeah, gaining time. Oh, 2 yellows out at once. Amber looking for the inside on D7. D7 keeps it. 2 cautions now. One is Jack East. One is Chamsko has now entered the pit lane. Jack East got it going again. It's almost not enough time to cover everything that's happening. Amber has lost a bit of ground to the Mercedes, but she's going to get DRS. The flap opens. She's gaining. She's not gaining enough, though. She can't make a move on the Mercedes, but down into turn 1, we all know what's going to happen. Watching from the back of the Mercedes, the Red Bull gets bigger, the Red Bull gets bigger, the Red Bull goes alongside, the Red Bull overtakes. Light push though. There's no room. As we see Apex here, as he had to for the rules. He goes onto the soft tyres. He's going to be like a man on a mission to try and get back through this field. Oh, a little bit of a jump for Amber there, as there's a yellow flag ahead of them for the Alfa Romeo, I think, but they've got it going. D7 is probably not happy with the Red Bulls and how they've driven. Mercedes not being happy with Red Bull. Never heard of that one before. Oh, a little bit loose. Exiting the corner. In the DRS and slipstream. Is he going to be able to make a move? He gains a lot, but can't make a move and doesn't go for it. But we all know, as I said last lap, what's going to happen into turn 1. It's just all about how close you can stay in these few corners. Too close, of course, and you lose a little bit of aero. But it's going to be all for naught as he just goes straight past the Red Bull. The Red Bull does swipe across slightly, so it's not... Amber didn't make it easy, especially as it looked like D7 was going to fly straight across her front wing. But, yeah. It's really good racing from these two. As I said earlier, I wouldn't call it clean, but I'd call it good. It's these two are leaving nothing on the track. Well, they're leaving everything on the track, to be honest. They're leaving nothing to the imagination, really. As we see Unku in the Ferrari getting close to the Aston. But we can't stay on that for long, as Amber gains a ton of time on D7. Will Amber... Looks like Amber's used a bit more of her tyres than D7. Another yellow flag for the Alfa Romeo behind these two. Looks like Amber's used up their tyres, but the slipstream and DRS and dumping the battery can do wonders on a straight. Is Amber going to get close enough? Sends it to the inside! Side by side! How did they not touch? Amber's still close. Yellow flag. Pit lamp! Pit lamp is out! And that's a safety car! Oh, this changes everything! Oh, just like the driver in practice. I can't remember who it was who spun it there in the practice session earlier on. But that is identical. And this race changes substantially. There's not going to be many laps of racing, but there's going to be racing. Will anyone pit? Hales pits. You've got to, surely. Champs go in the pits. Broughton pits. Will D7 pit? There should be enough time. Broughton, in. Amber, in. Will Alfie pit? They're all on softs. Champs goes on mediums, though. Alfie, in. Geordie, in. I think the only one who's not going to pit is Apex. Pixels, in. Unku, in. Apex is the next one along. Apex also pits. Oh, Pixels, that's not what you wanted to see. 5-second penalty for speeding into pit lane. Sass is one of the brave ones to stay out. Well, with a slight lull in the action now, it's a perfect time to remind everyone of the Formula Game Companion app. Home to all the stats needed in FVC and FVGP history. It's where you vote for Driver of the Day from the races. I'm not sure if there'll be Driver of the Day for pre-season testing. There might be. Unku will be able to confirm that for me.
There shouldn't be, I don't think. But I'm not sure, I don't remember. Don't quote me on it.
There probably won't be, but there might. Check the app anyway. And for all the major races in the season, there will be all the stats and the Driver of the Day voting, which will close one day after the race is over. Field munches up now. Well, not fully, but it's going to. I don't think there's going to be many laps. I think there's going to be 2 laps of racing, if I remember correctly. But my brain is faulty. So it very much could be 1 lap or 3 laps. I don't know. As we see the Alfa Romeo pits realistically to get out the way of everyone. And Pixels pits probably to shift his penalty. Let's watch that. A little bit of entertainment to see if that's how it works, because someone lost a 5 second, someone served a 5 second penalty here, but I'm not sure if that's how it works. Yep, the penalty's being served, fair enough. So it's going to be Joseph Hales, started P16, currently leading. Will it stay like that, though? Because there's going to be a lot of drivers chomping at the bit to make a move. And Joseph Hales won't have DRS. He won't have Slipstream. But there's a non-zero chance that no one has DRS. So that's going to be interesting for the rundown into turn 1. The field is bunching up now. Only 2 cars left to catch up. So I think if safety car isn't in this lap, it will be in next lap. Safety car in this lap. I can't run away and have a wee. But the field has caught up. It's going to be the Williams of Joseph Hales to start, to lead, to set the pace for what should be the final restart here for pre-season testing in Barcelona. It's going to be Hales' choice for when they launch. Looks like he's got early. Through it, off he goes. He's broken a gap, but there is still going to be Slipstream. 3 laps to go in Barcelona. It's going to be Amber making the move first. Amber looking on the inside of Broughton. Can't make it stick. That just lets Joseph Hales run away. Apex gets past Unku. Is there going to be anything else? Joseph Hales is scampering away. He's nearly broke DRS. He has broke DRS. That's going to be huge if DRS gets enabled, which I think it will on the final lap. That will make the final lap really interesting. But Hales has just completely left. That's gone perfectly. Yellow flag. It's for Jack East. Just a spinner. No one able to make a move. It's a little bit of a snake. They all know it's going to come down to that final lap. That final run into turn 1. That final run down the back DRS straight. And whether anyone will make a move any further on. D7. Really close. Hale sets the fastest lap. 1 minute 12.327. In the regular season, that'll be a bonus point. D7 cannot catch up. None of them can. They're all in everyone's slip. They're all in each other's slipstream. Only 2 laps to go here in Barcelona. D7 throwing it into these corners. They're all throwing it into these corners. But Joseph Hales has a 2-second lead. I don't think he's going to be caught. Oh, massive twitch from D7. How did he save that? Brilliant save from the second Mercedes. But he's lost the DRS to Amber. Down the inside, looks Alfie, cannot make it stick. Jack East has retired. I think he's crashed. But we're too late on in the day for another safety car. It's going to be the final lap, starting now for Joseph Hales. White flag in the air. DRS enabled. But DRS not open down this front straight. Amber to the outside. Does she have enough speed? Does she have enough speed? She's still there. Contact. Broughton clears. Amber might not be happy. She's not close enough to make a move. It's going to be all about this next DRS straight. Will she stay close enough? Alfie got through on D7. Alfie spins on the wheels like a tree. It's going to be real close between these four. But it's not going to be close for Joseph Hales. Started last. Disqualified in qualifying to start last. DRS open. Broughton checks to the inside. Amber sends it. Amber washes out. Broughton gets back. It was a last-ditch effort from Amber. And that's all you really could have done. And Broughton saw it coming. But through the final corner now. Joseph Hales wins in testing. And not too far behind. Broughton comes home second. Amber just slightly further back, but not from lack of trying. Alfie comes home fourth. D7 in fifth. I didn't see the rest of that. If that is what pre-season testing is like, the season is going to be incredible. And I cannot disagree with that for Drive for the Day. Last to first. What a race. As always, if anyone wishes to join, there will be driver interviews following the podium ceremony. It'd be even better if I had got the interview one ready, but it's fine. These things happen. And that's what testing is for. So, Joseph Hales wins the race and gets the fastest lap here in pre-season testing, with Broughton coming home in second. Amber not far behind in third, with Alfie and D7 rounding up the top five. Borna climbs up to P6, with Apex and Unku coming in closer behind in 7th and 8th. It's 2 points. Well, it would be 2 points for the Aston Martin of Pixels in this practice, well, in this pre-season testing, with Champsco rounding up the points. It was a bold strategy from SAS to stay out at the final safety car, and it didn't pay off as they fall out the points into 11th, with Ace King going a lap down after they left the session, ending up in P12. Jack East ends up 13th, with the 3 DNFs of Vetlamp, Leslie and Chungus falling out along the way.